Siobhan, you mentioned last session you were hoping to look at Mount Recovery today and kind of see your recovery as from here to maybe 6 months down the road.
Yeah.
Were you still hoping to do that?
I would love to.
Okay. So the first thing we like to look at before we look at how we're going to make our progress up this mountain is we want to look at where we've come from. So sometimes we call that our sea of problems. So some of those negative, challenging things that you were facing before you decided to make some changes around your crack use.
Well, I was in some relationships with people that weren't the greatest.
Okay, so maybe some challenging relationships?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Is there anything else?
Because I wasn't in a good place. I cut a lot of my family out of my life. Yeah.
Okay. So that loss of that family structure or system?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like I started using crack because I was going through a lot. I've had a lot of trauma in my life. So just all of those negative experiences.
Yeah. It helped to kind of keep that trauma pushed down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any other life areas financially?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, was that a
That's
big one?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So finances. Any legal concerns with your crack use?
I guess I had a couple close calls with that, but
Okay.
yeah, no jail time or anything.
Okay. But maybe the sort of thing that you felt like if you had kept using,
Yeah.
it might have led to more
Yeah.
concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about physical health?
Yeah, I have noticed a bit of a difference in how I'm feeling and looking. Okay, looking in the mirror and stuff, I look different. So probably I don't know really what the differences are, but I feel like it's gotten better.
Okay, so you're actually seeing improvement there.
Yeah.
So your physical health was being affected, but we're not exactly sure how. We just know there was some deterioration there.
Yeah.
And you're already noticing, even within the last couple of weeks of making change,
Yeah.
there's already some positives coming
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. That must feel encouraging.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So if we think of recovery as an uphill climb, and we're going to obviously keep going in our recovery, but let's just say this is 6 months down the road.
Okay.
And so you're already a couple of weeks in to your recovery. What is it that you're hoping for in the next 6 months? What are some of those goals that we might want to be dreaming about and working towards?
I definitely want to reconnect with my mom and my brother.
Okay. Yeah.
We used to be really close.
Okay. So that's a really important value to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to see maybe different, more positive relationships in my life. I have made a few changes with my more negative or challenging relationships,
Okay.
but maybe replacing that with
Okay.
some other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But-
So you've been successful in setting up some good boundaries with some of the challenging relationships,
Yeah.
but now you want to see more of that improvement in those relationships and
Yes.
new relationships.
New relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Maybe I don't have much money anymore, so maybe saving up something. I don't know how much I'd be able to, but something.
So that saving that money would give you a little bit of security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure what I want yet, but
Sure.
just having something.
Okay. So it'd be nice to know that you had that money saved if in a different time you wanted to buy something.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, so those are some really healthy goals that we're working towards. And so one of the things that we want to look at is what are some of the things that are going to help us get up here to reconnecting with mom and brother, saving some money, getting some of those new relationships going. What are some of the steps that you feel like you might need to be taking over the next several months to get to where you want to be?
Well, maybe talking to somebody about my finances would be good, because I don't know how much debt I'm in and how much I need to be putting away.
Okay, so talking to kind of an expert in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Is there anything else?
I guess new relationships, I don't know where I'm gonna find those. Because everyone that I've been around for a while, I'm trying to take a step away from, so where could I find other people? Just trying to figure that out.
Where would you find people that are like-minded,
Yeah.
having the same goals as yourself? Yeah.
I've gone to NA a few times and some people seem nice there,
Oh.
so maybe hanging back after meetings to talk a little bit more.
So not just going to the meeting, but also kind of making yourself accessible to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so sticking around for that social time afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would be definitely be a way to meet some more like-minded people. Is there anything else just practically that you need to do to kind of keep going on your recovery? So you think about, you haven't used crack for about 2.5 weeks right now. What do you have to do to be able to, what's gonna help you kind of cope, keep you going, so that 6 months down the road you can say, you know, I got another
Yeah.
6 months.
That'd be
of it.
nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess coming to see you still would be good.
Have you been able to try the AcuDetox clinic yet? I know you mentioned last time you were interested.
Yeah, I tried it a few times. I really liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be something you might want to see?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Continue coming to that. So that's something to do to get me out of the house.
Gives you a bit of a schedule.
Yes, yeah. I've needed to shift some things around these past couple weeks. I guess still maybe trying a few more different NA meetings out that I haven't tried. I've only gone to one place so far. So I could try some new ones.
So there's a different meeting every day, and so you could be trying to see what are the other days like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do that. Great.
And then we want to take a look at what's going to try to pull us away from those dreams and goals that you have and pull you back down to your old way of living. What are some of the triggers out there?
Well, and my friends, my older friends reach out to me if they text me or they know where I live too, so if they come over, that would be really hard to say no, because that's just what we do together.
Right.
So I need to keep my boundaries up.
Okay. So keeping those boundaries intact. Can I add that to this list here?
Yeah.
Part of how you're going to get to where you're going is you're going to keep those boundaries nice and firm.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anything else that might try to be pulling you back down here to this old way of living?
I guess when I get really sad or I'm thinking about my trauma, that was a big trigger for me too. So.
Is there anything we could add, Siobhan, to our coping to counteract some of that?
I know last time you mentioned there's a 4CC number to call. I haven't called them yet, but maybe having that in mind or in my back pocket if I'm feeling really sad.
Okay, then you could give them a call and try to get some support.
Yeah.
Let them know what's happening a little bit in your life and that you need to be able to feel a bit distracted for the next little while.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you notice, Siobhan, I didn't draw the mountain straight up because as humans, right, it's always a little bit bumpy along the way. And so this little indent here, it might be a slip, It might be that you get angry and you didn't mean to get angry. It might mean that you were planning on going to NA that night, but then you didn't end up going. It might just be a little slip along the way, and those are a very normal part of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And a slip is very different than a relapse. So a relapse is when, let's say along the way, you might have a slip with your substance use. And you use once and you realize, oh my goodness, I don't want to go back to this life and I want to keep climbing. We would consider that a slip, and then you keep on climbing to this next plateau.
Right.
A relapse is when we go back to our old way of living. So that's when somebody uses and then wakes up in the morning and goes back to using, and then later that afternoon they're using again, and then that evening they're still using, and that continues on for days and days and days. They've gone back to this old way of living.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a slip is just like maybe our recovery isn't going exactly how we had planned,
Yeah.
but that's just part of being human. That's just part of this recovery process, that we can learn from that angry outburst. We can learn from missing that NA meeting and get back on track and keep going.
Right.
So it sounds like you have lots of very positive goals, reconnecting with your mom and brother, saving money and new relationships, and it sounds like you have lots of good coping here that you can keep using every day as a way to get to your goals.
Yeah.